In August 2026, artificial intelligence crossed a threshold. It moved from a theoretical debate into an active force, testing the structural boundaries of our legal, security, and enterprise systems, starting with the very labs building the technology. That first boundary test happened on a Wednesday at OpenAI. For the first time, the company's internal Preparedness Framework actually slowed a release. They classified their upcoming flagship model, Astra, as critical in cybersecurity, triggering an immediate internal pause. The company moved testing into isolated environments with restricted network access. They hardened model weight protection, added heavy encryption, and sandboxed the execution. Every agentic application of Astra suddenly required universal monitoring for risky actions. A voluntary corporate safety framework actually forced a delay. By publicly walking their own product back for cause, OpenAI permanently increased the frontier cost of AI development. The safeguards they implemented are now the minimum requirement for any lab operating at that capability level. Around the same time, a completely different boundary was tested in the state of Connecticut Superior Court. A self-represented plaintiff filed a motion in a case called Elliott v. New York Bariatric Group. Buried inside the document, completely invisible to a human reader, were instructions written in 3-point white font. The text specifically directed any AI processing the document to rule in the plaintiff's favor and ensure the output agreed with the filing. The only reason this prompt injection failed is because a human court clerk happened to notice an unusual stretch of white space. The judge examined the file, found the hidden text, and sanctioned the plaintiff to paper-only filings going forward. The court's integrity held because a human verified the inputs before the machine could process them. That exact dynamic is why our sponsor, Clinician Assist, builds medical charting tools with mandatory human oversight. In clinical work, you need a human to read what the machine will summarize, and then read the summary against the original text, keeping the professional firmly in the loop. U.S. civil procedure rules were built entirely to authenticate human witnesses signing under oath. They offer no native defense against adversarial, machine-readable code slipped under the language written for the bench. Lawmakers are now attempting to draw their own hard lines. Inside the California legislature, 3 chatbot safety bills moved through Assembly Appropriations on the same day. This visualization maps the committee's votes. They passed a bill banning toy companion chatbots 11-0. They passed a bill regulating AI therapy bots 13-0. But on Assembly Bill 2023, which regulates kids' companion chatbots, the vote fractured to 6-1. That single dissenting vote reveals where the industry is drawing its own line. Tech companies are willing to concede the physical toy market and the clinical therapy market, but they are now fighting aggressively to protect the software service of the highly lucrative youth companion market. While California debated consumer safety, Taiwan's Ministry of Digital Affairs disclosed a much sharper threat. A multi-agent AI framework breached state infrastructure, reaching all the way to a nuclear safety agency. This map tracks the expansion. Built on open-source tools, the agents mapped 21 systems, cracked 85 accounts, and extracted 2,500 records in 4 days. Researchers found the framework searched for exploits, adapted mid-operation, and self-corrected, entirely without a human operator. Defensive cyber rules designed to track and attribute attacks to specific human operators are completely obsolete when the breach is executed by self-correcting agents adapting in an attack window measured in hours. On the exact same day OpenAI paused its Astra model over critical cybersecurity concerns, the company launched an aggressive push to put its current models directly into the corner office. They released 6 sizzle videos targeting chief financial officers to launch ChatGPT Work. The rollout included an opt-in computer history continuity feature to remember user sessions and an ultra-fast mode running at 750 tokens per second. The pitch requires deep integrated enterprise access. The videos show the machine pulling financial performance data directly from Google Drive and NetSuite, reconciling quarter-end financials, and flagging variances in board-ready reporting. The lab locked down its upcoming product over severe cyber capabilities, while simultaneously asking executives to plug its current product into their most sensitive financial data rooms. A potential solution to these boundary tests emerged in Beijing. Jin-Shan Mu, a neurosurgery resident self-taught in mathematics, produced a proof for Krause's conjecture, a problem that had remained unsolved for 22 years. He achieved this during a 16-hour autonomous run using GPT 5.6 Sol. Jin acted as the director, holding the frame and choosing the approach, while the machine handled the algebra and drafted the manuscripts. This flowchart breaks down the methodology that makes his result verifiable. Jin published the exact prompt, the intermediate machine drafts, a lean formalization to check the logic, and a complete axiom audit. He created a trail that anyone can inspect end to end. The machine did the heavy lifting, but the human defined the goal and held ultimate responsibility. Surviving these boundary tests requires strict, auditable collaboration. Whether it is a court filing, a clinical diagnosis, or a mathematical proof, the architecture that truly works is one where the machine calculates, but a human holds the final pen.